Welcome back to the Webby and O'Neill channel. First of all, a happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. In today's video, Gyokeres and Mbeumo, plus much more. So get involved, have your say, and don't forget to leave a like on today's video, as you know it's much appreciated. Gyokeres, it's just a mess, innit? I mean, 1 hour you're hearing he's favouring a move to Arsenal. Next minute, Arsenal are frozen negotiations. Are Manchester United, most importantly, involved in negotiations, do you feel?
United are involved. I've said it before. I've been consistent with it. We're being played. We're being mugged right off by a player and his agent who are out there looking for one thing and one thing only. It's clear to me, and a lot of other United fans are now on board with it. He's looking for the highest wages. That's what he's looking for. He's using United, and we've seen it many, many times over the years. Our name is being linked to players, so other teams come in, and that we're being played. We are not being mugged off again. We've seen it time and time again. That's how I read it, and a lot of other United fans now can see what this Gyokeres and his agent are all about.
Yeah, I do look at some of the reports, especially coming from Record Portugal over there, where they do favour Sporting more so than the likes of Benfica and Porto, where it's coming more favourably from a club stance, where you're reading reports from the likes of Romano and Ben Jacobs, been saying on a consistent basis as though Manchester United have been speaking to Gyokeres consistently. I just don't see that, me. Do you think that's leaks from the players' camp, an agent, where he's feeding them reporters?
Listen, they're feeding everyone, you know what I mean? They've got a dinner to eat and they've got people to feed. So at the end of the day, these agents, these players, these media people are out there and they're just satisfying their own ego and that with things coming out. That's how I see it. I just look at it. Would you want a player and an agent who use the media like these people have done, right, to tout themselves out there? It's not the culture we want. We've got players here, right, who we've got to get rid of, who have used the media many, many times for their own agendas and everything, okay? This is a nightmare. We've got to get rid of it. And United, and I did say it, and I posed that question to people out there, has anyone really heard of United putting in a bid? And the question is no. The other question was, why not? They're not interested.
Yeah, you can look at it like that. Some people might say, well, the transfer window doesn't reopen until Monday, and that's when we might start seeing some movement in terms of bids and direct contact between United and Sporting. I'm on the other side of that coin, though, and I do think that what you're saying is true, that they're using Manchester United through certain journalists or reporters out there to make it sound as though Man United have got contact with the player in his camp on a regular basis to try and earn more money on a contract, which obviously gives the agent a lot more money and a slice of the pie as well.
Well, it's the last contract for him. He's 27, Gyokeres. That's what he's looking for, more money. The agent's doing exactly the same thing. Would you want somebody at Old Trafford, right, playing for Man United, who's out there slagging the club off, right, who is supposed to adore? He's supposed to adore Sporting, and he's calling them liars and everything else like that. Yeah. And he's saying, like, you're making up stories, I'll show you the truth. He's not even spoke to United. United might already know what type of person he is and what the agent is. And they've decided very, very early on, swerve this one, this is a joke.
Well, you would have thought at least Ruben Amorim knows the character of Gyokeres, especially working with him at Sporting Lisbon. But I do go back a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks before the season finished, and he was asked about Gyokeres, Amorim, in a press conference, and he sort of done that smile like we see him do on a regular basis. And he did kind of swerve it and just say there's still a lot of players that want to come to Manchester United regardless of Champions League football next year.
If he wanted to come to Manchester United, the conversation would have started a month ago, without a doubt. Yes, Ruben Amorim knows the player, he knows the agent, but at the end of the day, he's not been looking to get out of Sporting until Ruben Amorim come to United. So the media are trying to make a connection and everything else like that. Good luck to Arsenal getting him. Absolutely good luck, because he is upset. Gyokeres is upset, the president of Sporting, and he is going to demand the money. And Arsenal, as we know, they want a striker, but they're going to have to pay through the nose to get him. And good luck. As far as I'm concerned, I think we've escaped a really, really bad attitude of a player. It can erupt at any time with this player. If you're speaking about the president now, what would he be saying about United? And I think many United fans say, move on, quickly move on, and then just get another target. And that's how I see it. You don't see the same with Mbeumo. Mbeumo came out, he gave his word, I want to go to United. United put a bid in, 55 million. They're looking at a second bid, and we know the troubles they've got there. So there's the difference with two players. Concrete conversations going on, concrete bidding there, and all we hear is speculation, and all we're hearing is an agent and a player touting themselves round. We're not going to be mugged off again.
Yeah, I won't totally discard signing Gyökeres right now because, like we're saying, we're hearing only facts or opinions. It's not really facts, though. We don't know it as facts when it's coming from reporters or journalists from the likes of Romano and Record Portugal. I mean, we're trying to be like Sherlock Holmes, and we could look like Inspector Clouseau, and I don't want to be like that. And, you know, in the next week, 2 weeks, I do feel like we will see the outcome of Gyökeres, of where he will move to. It's just, at the moment, we're not seeing or hearing any facts from himself or his agent, even though they're stating they have the facts of this so-called gentleman's agreement from last summer. Gyökeres saying there's a lot being talked about out there, but he will put the record straight. Well, he'd be better off doing that right now, wouldn't he, instead of letting things drag on and drag on?
No, you've got to cut now. United have just got to move on. They might have already moved on. We're only going off scurrilous reports. That's how I see it. So at the end of the day, we move on and we get Mbeumo over the line quickly as possible. It opens tomorrow. Let's move on. Gyökeres, for me, he soured anything, right, to come to Manchester United. I'm already down on him. I'm down on his agent. I've seen it many, many times. And I don't want this player here at Manchester United, somebody who goes out there who has not got the decorum to speak in private and sort it out and get a move. And I don't think United are even in for him, because where is the bid? The bid should have been in. That's a fact. It should have been in. If you want a player, and we need a striker, we need a number 9, the bid would have gone in. And I've not believed since day one that United want this player. I have no proof of it. And people out there are now beginning to understand there is no bid and there is no reason not to put a bid in. And that's me on Gyökeres.
Yeah, I think if Gyökeres was to actually present some facts, though, about all this mess in this situation, where a lot of it, what's being reported, like with Arsenal, etc., wasn't actually going on, and he ends up wearing the red shirt of United, starts banging in the goals, I'm sure a lot of people's feelings will actually change on Gyökeres, though.
Gyökeres shouldn't even be opening his mouth. What does he need to open his mouth for? He's got an agent. An agent should be doing it behind doors. And all he's doing, the agent, is feeding certain people in the media, right, for his own agenda. And we've seen where the agenda's gone. It's gone to Arsenal. So for me, it's the end of the story.
No, good shout. Let us know what you think about Gyökeres. Do you think he'll have a move to Manchester United? Do you think he wants to come, and do you want him to come, most importantly? But, you know, the big issue is you've gone from Delap to Gyökeres now, you know, third on the list. It's sounding like Ekitike from Frankfurt. I mean, as you're going further and further down that list, you know, problems arise with then transfer fees. Clubs noticing how desperate Manchester United will be then for a striker. The United tax comes in. But you're also, as you're going further down, surely you're then going away from the main and original target and the attributes what you currently wanted at that time, because you're going further down the list. These players weren't the original target, the top target.
Listen to the media, and what do you hear? Liam Delap. That's the only centre-forward we've had official contact with who's been to Old Trafford, who's looked around and spoke to the club. Gyökeres and Ekitike, there's been sort of like, hey, how much? Straight away, the price come out. That's fair enough. But with Gyökeres, there has been no contact.
Osimhen out there as well. Just let us know what your thoughts and opinions are, because one thing's for sure, from my point of view, we definitely need a striker in this summer. We're moving on to Mbeumo. Reports on Friday, just after we'd done a live video. Sky Sports, of all people, you know, breaking news, exclusive Sky Sports, Slow Sports News, saying that Mbeumo was then interested in a move to Tottenham. What do you make of all this?
No, that's just them spinning it. Obviously, with the manager going from Brentford to Tottenham, there's bound to be speculation. And like I say, the media, they've got to feed themselves on the table. And this is what they're doing. They're throwing things out. For me, he's gave his word. United have put a bid in. and I think it'll get done. I've been consistent with that, and I think this week we'll get the second bid in, and I think we'll get it over the line. That's how I see it, and we've got to get whoever we want, whoever we're bidding for, we've got to get them over the line before the end of January so they can settle in. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I think we're chasing him now for at least a couple of weeks. And Mbeumo, the one thing Man United can't do here is actual fumble it and then not get Mbeumo over the line here in a red shirt, because I'm hearing Brentford wants £70 million. I can't see Manchester United going to that price, though, can you?
No, I think what it is, with the club in the situation they are, and they knew this was coming with the manager going to Tottenham and with obviously Mbeumo wanting to leave and all that. I think the reason why there's a delay is because of the process of what's going on. I did say the other day, the sporting director, it's not the biggest team they've got there. So there's a lot of things to work out, and I think this process has sort of gone on, but it's not going away. It's there. It's just a slow process. So for us as fans, I think by the end of the week, this will be done, because we've now been going into it now for about 2 or 3 weeks solid, and I think it will get over the line. I have no doubt.
Yeah, no, I do believe that. But even if you look back to last summer as well, you had Braithwaite from Everton. They didn't like the price what Everton were putting on him, and they walked away from that deal. So let's hope they actually do come to a compromise, Brentford and Manchester United, because it's a player that I do want for United in Mbeumo. So hopefully they can get something sorted out and they don't walk away. But it wouldn't surprise me if Brentford do play hardball and you see Manchester United walking away. But for me, it's in a very, very vital first week going into this transfer window, opening up on Monday, and I expect some movement there next week.
I think the movement will come soon as Brentford have got a player in
to replace him.
To replace Mbeumo. I think that's the process, and that's what we're all waiting for.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everyone. Thought I'd give you a bit of a brief overview, our opinions on the situation with Gyökeres and Mbeumo, Ekitike as well. Do you think that's genuine from Manchester United? Get it all in the chat, and don't forget to leave a like on the video. As you know, it's much appreciated. We'll be back tomorrow on Monday with a live. Get that notification on, and we'll see you there.